They were giants walking among us, born of a forbidden union between heaven and earth. To understand who they were, we must go back to the most mysterious, omitted verse in Genesis. Genesis chapter 6, verse 4 states, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also afterward." But who were these giants, and why did they exist? To find the true, terrifying answer, we must look at the word itself. In Hebrew, they are called Nephilim, literally, the fallen ones. They were not simply very tall men. They were an evolutionary anomaly, a biological fusion of flesh and cosmic energy, born from a rebellion in the unseen realm. Genesis explains that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives. But what is left out of Sunday schools is who these sons of God actually were. The forbidden Book of Enoch, found among the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls, reveals their names. They were the Watchers, 200 high-ranking celestial entities led by a prince named Semyaza. Semyaza gathered them on the snowy peak of Mount Hermon. There, they bound themselves with a terrifying blood-sealed oath, swearing to cross the boundary of creation, no matter the cost. They descended, and they took physical form. They taught mankind forbidden secrets, metallurgy, weapons of war, cosmetics, astrology, and sorcery. They warped the clean fabric of human destiny, and then the hybrids were born. The Nephilim, beings of immense scale, unmatched physical power, and a genetic nature that defied the laws of the Creator. Ancient Enochian texts describe their physical horror. They grew so vast that the earth could no longer sustain their hunger. They consumed all the produce of men, and when the food ran out, they turned on humanity. They began to devour human flesh. They drank human blood. The planet was transformed into a screaming, bloody slaughterhouse of genetic warfare, polluted by a celestial hybrid bloodline. The Book of Giants, recovered from the Qumran caves, tells us that the giants began to have terrible, prophetic nightmares. They saw the future, and they saw their own destruction. One giant, named Ohia, dreamed of a massive stone tablet submerged in water. As he watched, a hand wiped the tablet completely clean, leaving only 4 names behind. The message was clear. A purge was coming. To stop the corruption, the creator of the universe ordered his archangels to intervene. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel descended with an army of holy light. Their judgment on the Watchers was absolute. Raphael was commanded to bind Azazel hand and foot and cast him into the dark, jagged desert of Dudail, buried under sharp stones forever. Michael bound Semyaza and his companions deep beneath the hills of the earth, locked in chains of darkness for 70 generations, until the final day of their judgment. But what about the giants? The archangels did not slay them directly. Instead, they sowed a seed of madness. They forced the Nephilim to turn on one another in an epic, bloody civil war of absolute extinction. They slaughtered each other until the last giant fell. Then, the great, great flood of Noah washed the earth clean, burying their colossal physical bones deep in the mud of history. But the story of the Nephilim did not end with their physical death. To the ancient Hebrews, their demise birthed a much more terrifying reality, one that plagues our world today. Because the giants were born of both physical humans and immortal watchers, their souls could not cross over. They had no place in the kingdom of heaven, and they could not rest in the grave. The Book of Enoch explains that when the giants died, their disembodied, wandering spirits became the evil spirits of the earth, the entities we now call demons. These spirits wander the earth, hungry, restless, seeking a physical vessel to inhabit, so they can once again taste the physical world they lost. They are the shadows in the dark, the whispers of possession. This raises a chilling question. If the bones of the giants are buried deep beneath our feet, and their spirits are still walking among us, seeking a way back in, what exactly happens when the locks on the abyss are finally opened? What happens when the 70 generations are complete? The answers are out there, locked in the forgotten margins of ancient text, ready to be unlocked. If you are brave enough to seek the mysteries that history tried to lock away, hit subscribe and join us on our next journey. Welcome to Genesis Unlocked.